Oh, all right. Let me cast here real quick because it looks like, again, my group did not come with me. What the heck? All right. We're going to get there. Okay. All right. Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday. Welcome, everybody, to this program design review. Those of you who were recently in Chicago, or those of you who are going to Providence, Rhode Island, it will be of great benefit to you because you'll be reminded of the Warrior warm-up when you see Martin Rooney. That's a good thing to practice. And, you know, some people are like, well, I did the Warrior warm-up once, you know, should I do it all week? How many weeks in a row you've been doing the breakdown warm-up? How many months in a row you've been doing that? Don't be afraid to, like, you know, go Warrior style all week and master that warm-up and improve your toolbox. So anyway, the Warrior, we do have a video of it. If you need it, reach out to me or your leader or whatever, and it is on the YouTube channel. We do have demonstrations of that. And of course, we have a little bit of a modified version. If you're in Chicago or Providence, we can't take as long as Martin Rooney did to do it because we'll take the whole workout, right? So we got just the breakdowns and the claps and the feet and all that kind of stuff. All right, so the dumbbell gorilla rows. If we are sharing an iTunes playlist, or if you'd like to put this on your iTunes playlist, we do have gorilla noises. All right. Just kind of fun, makes people chuckle a little bit. And if they don't chuckle when you play that, then you can, of course, give them your own laugh track. I know you were laughing on the inside. Thank you, Andy, for putting that onto our little playlist there. All right. Really bad, you know. I'll have to find that one too, because I sometimes bomb it. All right. So the dumbbell gorilla rows, you know, you're in that squatted position and you're getting the rows, and they are a little bit more vertical than horizontal, but you'll see that in the video. The rope drum roll, kneel to stand, walking in crisscross. You want to talk about a metabolic activity? That's a metabolic activity. So challenge people with their pace. Be that coach that comes around, maybe even gives them a goal for the 35 seconds that they're there. Like, how many times can we kneel down, come up, walk it in, walk it out? You know, maybe they have a goal for that station. Maybe they do it 10 times, maybe a little less. Kettlebell front squat with overhead press. So challenge the weight, make sure they're getting a good appropriate challenge, and they can even press with their legs. You can tell them to feel like they're pressing from their feet. The surge ram banana chest press. There's that song I'm a Banana, or there's the Holla Back Girl 222 bananas. Either way, you can definitely capture their attention and add some fun as you intro this, because they earn the banana position doing that chest press. So in most facilities, it's going to be the ram. Could also be the sandbag here. You're working with a live weight like you would be in the surge, so that's good. But, you know, challenge them on the range of motion. And when I say range of motion, what am I talking about here? I'm talking about their 6-inch range of motion with their legs, right? Make sure you come along and be that coach that got them in the proper banana position to where they got that slight crunch. TRX tricep extensions, elbows tight, everything in alignment. And that means ear, shoulder, hip, earth, right? That we're not letting our hips fall in or leaving our butt behind. So you're the coach that comes along and helps people correct that they have their hands held high enough to where their forearm can go through their, so their forehead can go through their forearms, like as if they're looking through a window. This one, I couldn't wait to talk about. I went to sleep last night thinking, man, I can't wait to talk to these guys about this. I had a personal, private coaching session from Dan John, who's written about 17 books on fitness and is one of the smartest guys I know in fitness. And I told him, I said, Dan, I got issues with my back. What's one of the most important things you can tell me to do? And he tried to take me over to a wall and have me drive the small of my back into the wall. And I couldn't do it. I couldn't figure out how to get my back there, right? I could, you know, a lot of people are just very disconnected. So then we saw him later, and I'm like, man, I was working on that. You know, it took me a little while to think my way through it. And I said, I feel like I did it when I crunched my abs. When I crunched my abs, I was able to kind of push it back. And he says, that's it. He says, let's try it down on the floor. And then he had Kristen trying to stick her hand under the small of my back because she shouldn't be able to. So this is your purpose as a coach. The stability ball dead bug, I would say that we should probably use the stability ball every time, because it actually teaches us to do the dead bug as it should be done. So what you're actually doing is you're getting a small amount of crunch in there, pushing the small of your back into the floor as you alternate opposite arm and opposite leg going out as you do with a dead bug. So your purpose as a coach, for the sake of healthy backs, is to teach people to drive their lower back into the floor during this dead bug exercise, and they accomplish it by doing the crunch with the stability ball. So they kind of have a little bit of a crunch going on. So good stuff for your back health. That's why I've been so excited to talk about it, because I think it incorporates what Dan John was showing me, and it makes this exercise that much more effective. They will feel so much more from it, and they'll get some back benefits. The 21s. Who does a better Arnold impression than Ricardo in Chicago, right? That was great. So curling halfway up for 7, the other half, and then full range of motion. I had told Jeremy about that a couple weeks ago, so I shot him a text. I said, yeah, we were throwing some 21s in the other day when we were working out in the morning by ourselves. And he said, I'll throw them in sometime. So thanks, Jeremy, for throwing those in. But Arnold impressions are welcome. We even have Arnold on our playlist over here, which is we sometimes, when we're going to start to do something that's
the first rule of success is to have a vision.
So
you see,
if you don't have a good Arnold impression, maybe you're playing Arnold as you're starting to do this, right? Because there's little Arnold motivational speeches on Apple as well. So then we move on, and the only thing I'd say about that, Jeremy did a great job pointing out in the video, not letting people swing, encouraging the lightweight. He already pointed that out in the video. He even suggested walking them over to have their back against something. So your purpose as a coach is to ensure they're not swinging to do it, besides having fun with Arnold. All right. Battle rope 3 slams to a squat thrust, 1, 2, 3, squat thrust, 1, 2, 3, squat thrust, right? You're challenging the pace. Kettlebell deadlift to single leg deadlift. So teach proper spine alignment. Very important, right? The chest is up, the shoulders are back. This is like the iron legs, but for the posterior, right? Because you're going to each side and then doing the double, kind of like what you do with iron legs, which is lunge, squat. This is single leg deadlift. If it's not for somebody, then you can just give them the regular deadlift. Maybe there's a reason. Maybe they're having too much difficulty with that. The alternating reverse lunge with rotation using a ram. Well, that's as close to the DECA exercise station number 1 as you can get. So I call that a DECA opportunity. And what I mean is occasionally in our workouts, we have times where we can promote DECA or the training for DECA. So we can let people know, hey, if you want to work on your DECA, right? What's a good time? I mean, if you're Ricardo and Vicky, you probably do that in about 10 seconds, but a good time for most would be a minute, right? So since you got 35 seconds there, like, let's see if we can accomplish 16, give them a goal. Be that coach that's like, hey, usually people get there in about a minute in the normal DECA event. So let's see if you can get halfway there in 35 seconds, challenging them. TRX front jump squat. I don't know why. I think it's the angle of this, but it always makes me feel like I'm teaching people how to parachute or something. Because here's what happens, right? They get out here and they're leaning. They're in this forward lean, and we have to teach them to put their chest on the handles, right? But now because I'm in a forward lean, as soon as I pick up my legs, I go backwards, right? So it's kind of like a little bit of a free fall, right? And then I hop out. But if I pick up my legs, I can't help but fall backwards. So I kind of feel like, little parachute training over here. Get ready, for your free fall. Because that's essentially what happens every time. Oh, we got a song now. Free falling over here. Yeah, so why not, right? A little bit of free falling. Or if you want to encourage them, it could be Let It Go from the movie Frozen. Just got to let it go here. Cold never bothered me anyway. So there's that. And then stability ball, dumbbell torso twist. You're rotating on that stability ball, touching your shoulder one side, then to the other. Arms are fully extended. So you're just helping them get shoulder to shoulder. It can be a balance challenge. So, be over there, be present with that one. The 21s is a teaching opportunity. I found that even with guys that like Scott Sajomo, I know he's been working out for a number of years, but one morning when I told him that we were going to do 21, she's like, what's that? Right? So I'm like, all right. So you got to teach them. And the TRX front jump squat, you got to teach them to be in that proper position. That's why those are highlighted in green. If I had a third green highlight, probably be those torso twists. Splitting the room. One person's isometric, one person's dynamic. There's 3 exercises. To me, this is a little bit of its own energy lineup, right? So you may want to, kind of square them off from one another. We've done that before. We tell them to encourage each other. We play the right bull beat before your call. So that may be what you want to do when you set that up, because it's 20 seconds on, 5 seconds transition, 20 seconds go again, 10 seconds when you change exercises is how that's supposed to be. So even though it says 3 sets, you wouldn't set your count in your clock for 3. You'd only set it for 25. And then you have that's going to repeat for 2 sets, and then your final is going to be for 10 seconds, and then it would repeat again, right? So that's how that would go. And that is the program design review for Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday. Hope it helps everyone to be engaging, be entertaining, and have a purpose at each station.